Stop. Before you scroll past this video, before you close this tab, before you tell yourself this isn't for you, I need you to hear me. You did not find this video by accident. There is no such thing as accident in my kingdom. My child, this message was placed in front of your eyes at this exact moment because I have been waiting for you to stop long enough to hear my voice. You have been running. You have been hurting. You have been carrying something so heavy that some mornings you wonder if you even have the strength to stand. I know, I see you. And today, I am speaking directly to you. Stay. Please stay. Every second you remain, I promise you, something inside you is going to shift. Beloved, before I speak to your pain, before I touch the wound that has been bleeding quietly, I need to tell you who you are. Because you have forgotten. The world told you that you were too much or not enough. People left and their leaving felt like a verdict. Silence felt like rejection. And slowly, quietly, you began to believe the lie. So let me remind you of the truth. You were not born by chance. I did not make you carelessly, my precious one. I did not assemble you in haste. Before the foundations of the earth were laid, before a single star burned in the sky, before the oceans filled their beds, I thought of you. I designed the curvature of your soul with intention. I wove purpose into the very fabric of your existence before you drew your first breath. Your name was written in my book before time began. You are not ordinary. I know you feel ordinary. I know the mirror doesn't always show you what I see. I know the noise of the world has been loud enough to drown out my whisper. But hear me now. You are extraordinary. Not because of what you have achieved, not because of what you possess or what title you carry. You are extraordinary because I made you. And I do not make mistakes. My child, you were chosen. Chosen for this time. Chosen for this season. Chosen for this very moment in history, where the earth needed someone with exactly your spirit, exactly your compassion, exactly your broken and mended heart. Your scars are not proof of your weakness. They are proof of your survival, and I was the one who carried you through every single one of them. Let me speak over your identity like morning speaks over darkness. You are loved, not with a human love that comes and goes, that cools when you disappoint, that withdraws when you fail. You are loved with a love that has no ceiling and no flaw, a love that preceded your birth and will outlast your death. You are seen. Every hidden tear, every unspoken fear, every night you pulled the covers over your head and whispered, "Is anyone there? I was there. I am here. I have always been here." You are chosen, not in spite of your imperfections, but through them. I have a habit, beloved, of choosing the ones the world overlooks, the ones sitting in the back, the ones who have been passed over, pushed aside, forgotten. Look at my history. I chose a shepherd boy to be a king. I chose a stuttering man to confront a pharaoh. I chose a woman weeping at an empty tomb to be the first voice, to carry the greatest news the world would ever hear. And I choose you. Your destiny is not cancelled because of what you've been through. It is not delayed because of your mistakes. It is not diminished because of the people who left or the dreams that haven't come yet. Your destiny is alive, my precious one. It is alive, and it is calling your name. I did not bring you this far to abandon you at the threshold of your breakthrough. I did not carry you through the valley to drop you at the edge of the promised land. I need you to receive this today. Not just hear it. Receive it. Let it go down into the deep places where the hurt lives. Let it reach the part of you that has been numb for so long you almost forgot it existed. You are chosen. You are loved. You are seen. Say it quietly. Right now, wherever you are. Say, I am chosen. I am loved. I am seen, because I said so, and my word never returns void. Now, my child, now I want to sit with you in the pain, not to rush past it, not to dismiss it with easy words. I want to sit with you in it, because you have sat in it alone for far too long. I know what loneliness feels like inside a human soul. I built that soul. I understand its architecture, and I know exactly which rooms in your heart have been dark and cold and empty. You know that feeling of being in a room full of people and still feeling completely, utterly alone. You have smiled at the right moments. You have laughed when laughter was expected. You have carried conversations and participated in the noise. But inside, deep inside, there was a silence so vast it frightened you. Like you were standing on one side of a glass wall, watching everyone else connect, and wondering what was wrong with you that you couldn't break through. You have felt unseen, my precious one. Not just once, not in passing. You have felt it as a constant companion. This sense that no matter how loud you speak, no one truly hears you. No matter how much you give, people look through you. You pour yourself out, and people take what they need and move on, and somehow your empty cup surprises no one but you. I saw the night you sat by your phone, and it didn't ring. You had been waiting, hoping. You told yourself it was fine. You were fine. You didn't need anyone. But underneath the brave face, something in you was breaking. Because the silence of that phone wasn't just silence. It was a verdict, wasn't it? It felt like proof of something you had feared for a long time, that you don't matter enough for someone to reach out first. I saw the birthday that passed quietly. I saw the moment in the gathering where everyone seemed to find their person, their group, their place. And you stood at the edge of it all, trying to look purposeful, trying to look like you didn't notice. But you noticed, and it cut deep. I know about the relationships that ended without explanation. The ones where someone you trusted, someone you opened yourself to, someone you let past the walls you built so carefully, just went quiet, just disappeared. Or worse, they left with words that still replay in the small hours of the night. You gave them your realness, your raw, unpolished, genuinely you. And they chose to leave anyway. And part of you decided that day, I will never do that again. I will never be that open again. My child, I know about the prayers that felt unanswered. You have prayed. Don't let anyone tell you that you haven't. You have gotten on your knees, literally or figuratively, and you have poured out your heart. You have asked me for a friend, for someone to see you, for the loneliness to lift, for a sign that you are not forgotten. And the silence that followed, it didn't just feel like waiting, it felt like abandonment. You wondered if I was listening. You wondered, in the quiet, honest place that you don't say out loud, if I even existed, or if you had been speaking into an empty sky all along. And the guilt of that thought piled on top of everything else. Because who were you to doubt? What kind of faith was that? But beloved, I am not offended by your honest doubt. I am moved by it, because it means you were truly searching, and I have a promise for every soul who truly searches. They will find me. You have cried when no one was watching. I know when. I know where. I know the exact sound of your weeping when you let yourself be completely undone. In the shower, in the car, in the dark of a room where no one could see you fall apart. You cried for connection. You cried for belonging. You cried for someone to see you, really see you. Not the version of you that's edited for public consumption, but the real you, the complicated you, the scared and hopeful and tired and still believing you. And there have been seasons where you looked at others, their full lives, their full tables, their full circles, and you wondered, why not me? What is it about me that keeps people at a distance? The comparison was quiet, but it was crushing, and you hated yourself a little for feeling it, which only added another layer to the loneliness. My precious one, can I tell you something? The depth of your loneliness is a direct testimony to the depth of your capacity to love. Hollow people don't ache like this. Surface souls don't weep at 3 a.m. over the absence of deep connection. The very pain you carry is evidence of a heart built for profound, extraordinary relationship, and you have been trying to pour that oceanic love into vessels too small to hold it. I see you working twice as hard to be chosen, saying yes when you mean no, shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never built for you, performing a version of yourself that you think people will find acceptable, because the real you was once deemed too much, too deep, too needy, too something. And the exhausting irony is that the very performance that you think is keeping people close is actually keeping them from ever knowing you, which deepens the loneliness you were trying to cure. You have felt invisible in families, overlooked in friendships, passed over in rooms where you deserved to be recognized. You have done everything right and still felt wrong. You have loved fully and still felt empty. You have given generously and still felt forgotten, and through all of it, through every sleepless night, every swallowed tear, every brave smile you wore like armor, there has been this quiet question living in the basement of your soul. Does anyone really know I'm here? My child. My beloved, precious, extraordinary child. I am going to answer that question right now, and I need you to be still and let the answer reach you all the way down. I was there. I am here. I have never, not for a single moment, not for the fraction of a breath, taken my eyes off. You asked if anyone. I know. I have always known. I have been the silent witness to every moment of your life, the ones you're proud of and the ones you're ashamed of, the beautiful ones and the broken ones, the brave ones, and the ones where you could barely hold yourself together, when you were crying in the shower, thinking no one could hear you. I heard every single sound. I didn't just hear the crying, my child. I heard what was underneath it, the words you didn't have, the grief you couldn't name, the longing that went deeper than words. I heard all of it, and I leaned in closer when you sat by your phone and it didn't ring. I was sitting with you, not watching from a distance, with you. Right there in the room, in the silence, in the waiting, and I was not indifferent to your pain. Every minute of that waiting registered in heaven. Your tears did not fall unnoticed. They never have. They never will. My word says I collect your tears in a bottle. Do you understand what that means? Not one has been wasted. Not one has been dismissed. Every tear you have ever cried has been held by me with the tenderness a father holds something precious. When they left without explanation, I stayed. When the silence came after you opened yourself up, I was speaking love over you in the spirit, even when you couldn't hear it in the natural. When the room was full and you still felt alone, I was the warmth you couldn't quite place, the inexplicable peace that would settle on you sometimes, even in the hardest moments. That was me. That has always been me. I want you to go back to that night, the worst night, the one you don't talk about. Go back to it in your mind for just a moment. Now hear me. I was there, not arrived late, not present in some distant theological sense. I was there in the room, in the dark, in the specific geography of that specific pain. I was the reason you made it through that night. I was the invisible hand steadying you when you felt like you were going to collapse. You did not survive your hardest seasons by accident. You survived because I was fighting for you when you had no fight left. You survived because even when your faith was a flickering candle, nearly extinguished by the wind, I was cupping my hands around the flame. I refused to let you go out. I have always refused. My precious one, I need you to understand something about the loneliness you've carried. I allowed seasons of human loneliness, not to punish you, but to position you. Not every person who walked away was my plan for your forever. Some of them were assignments, and their season ended. Some of them were mirrors showing you wounds that needed my healing before any human relationship could truly flourish. The emptying was never abandonment. It was always preparation. When prayers felt unanswered, I was working in the silence. The silence of heaven is not absence. It is activity. When you could not hear me speaking, I was moving things in the unseen realm, rearranging circumstances, removing obstacles you couldn't see, preparing people for your life and preparing you for people. Working all things, beloved, even the painful things, for your good. I see your faithfulness. I see that you kept praying even when you doubted, that you kept getting up even when your legs felt weak, that you kept your heart open even after it had been broken. Because somewhere beneath all the hurt, there was a stubborn, irreducible hope that refused to die. That hope is my fingerprint on your soul. That hope is me in you. You wondered why I seemed silent. Let me tell you something about my silence. When a goldsmith places gold in the fire, he doesn't leave the room. He sits closer. He watches more intently than at any other moment. The heat that looks like abandonment is the moment of his most focused attention. My child, your fire seasons have been my closest seasons. The harder the trial, the nearer I have been. You were never more on my mind than in your darkest moments. And when you looked at others and wondered why not you, I was. Some of the things you envied were things I was shielding you from. Some of the tables you felt excluded from would have cost you things I was not willing to let you lose. Some of the doors that stayed closed were doors to rooms that would have diminished you. What looked like rejection was often my redirection. So hear me now. Hear me and let this land in the deepest place. You have never been invisible to me. You have never been forgotten by me. You have never been alone. Not truly, not even for a moment, because I have been with you every step of this journey, this hard, beautiful, imperfect, meaningful journey that is your life. And I am with you right now, in this moment as these words reach your ears and your heart. I am here. I have always been here, and I am never leaving. Now, my child. Now. Let me tell you what is coming, because I did not bring you through what you've been through to leave you in lack. I did not hold you together through every breaking to deposit you in an ordinary life. I brought you through the fire because I have prepared something on the other side of it that your mind cannot yet fully comprehend. A shift is already happening. Even as you watch this video, even as these words move through you, something is being unlocked in the spirit. A door that has been closed is beginning to open. A blessing that has been in process is nearing its completion. A season of waiting is approaching its end. I am not speaking possibility. I am speaking certainty. What I declare comes to pass. And I am declaring over your life right now. The season of loneliness is ending. I am sending people into your life, my precious one, not users. Not people who will take from you and leave when you're empty. Real people. People of depth and covenant. People whose hearts have been prepared and refined for the specific gift of your company. Your person or persons are being navigated toward you. The isolation you have endured has been simultaneous to a preparation happening in other souls who will be part of your story. Their seasons have been preparing them for you. The connection you have ached for is coming. A table is being set for you. Not a borrowed seat at someone else's table, but your table, your place, your circle, built around the authentic truth of who you are, where you will not have to perform or shrink or edit yourself, where your depth will be matched and your heart will be known. This is not a dream. This is a declaration from the God who holds time in his hands. And beloved, I also need to speak to provision, because I know the financial pressure has compounded the emotional weight. I know the worry about money has been a voice in the background of your days, a heaviness that makes the loneliness feel even more isolating. Hear me, abundance is coming to you. Resources that you cannot trace to a human source are being released over your life. Unexpected provision, doors in the professional realm opening that you did not knock on. Ideas being downloaded into your mind that carry wealth inside them. The favor of God going before you into rooms and creating opportunities that logic cannot explain. This is the season of supernatural supply. What you could not earn your way into, my favor will walk you into. I am also speaking over your health. Some of you have been carrying physical symptoms that are the body's response to prolonged emotional pain. Some of you have been sick in ways that doctors have partially addressed but never fully healed. Some of you have been exhausted in a bone-deep way that sleep does not cure. I am touching those places where doctors have found limitation. I am the God of no limitation. Where the body has carried the weight of the spirit's suffering, I am releasing healing, wholeness into your physical frame. Receive this healing right now. Right where you're sitting, standing, lying down. Put your hand on the place that hurts, the physical place, the emotional place, and receive what I am releasing over you in this moment. You will not carry this weight forever. Restoration is your inheritance. In the spiritual realm, my child, a new dimension is opening for you. The prayers that have felt like they bounced off the ceiling, they didn't. They have been accumulating in heaven, building toward a moment of release. A flood of answered prayer is on its way to you. The intimacy with me that you have longed for, that deep, real felt sense of, my presence that you've had glimpses of and hunger for, is expanding. I am drawing you closer. I am removing every veil, every barrier, every lie that has kept you at arm's length from the fullness of what I want you to experience with me. You are entering a season of clarity. Confusion will lift. The fog that has made it hard to see your path, that sense of not knowing what to do, which direction to move, whether any of it matters, that fog is clearing. I am giving you vision. I am aligning your steps with my purpose. I am making your path straight. Here is what I need you to hear, and I need you to hear it clearly. The best chapters of your story have not been written yet. What you have survived was the beginning. The early chapters where the character is being formed, the resilience forged, the roots driven deep enough to hold what is coming. The harvest is ahead. The fullness is ahead. The joy. The kind that doesn't depend on circumstances. The kind that runs deep and wide, and is not shaken by the surface storms of life. That joy is ahead. I see you becoming who I always knew you were. Stronger, freer, more fully yourself. Walking in the purpose that was written over your life before you were born. Carrying an authority that comes from having been through the fire and come out refined rather than destroyed. You are going to look back on this season, this hard, long, lonely season, and you are going to say, that was where God was preparing me for everything that came next. And you will be grateful, not just okay, not just surviving, genuinely, profoundly grateful, because the depth of what is coming requires the depth of what you've been through. The blessing needs the background of the struggle to make full sense. This is not empty comfort. This is prophetic declaration. Write it down if you need to. Screenshot this moment. Bookmark it. Because when the breakthrough comes, when, not if, I want you to remember that I told you. I want you to know that I knew, that the God who sees the end from the beginning was already celebrating your victory while you were still in the middle of your battle. A shift is already happening, my precious one. Right now, right here, in you, around you, on your behalf, the tide is turning, the morning is coming. Your season of breakthrough begins now. If this message is reaching you today, if these words have been touching something real in you, take a moment right now and click like on this video. It tells me you received it. And if you're not yet part of this family, subscribe and turn on the bell. There are more words waiting for you here. Now, let's continue. My child, I don't just want to speak to your spirit. I want to equip your hands. Faith without action is incomplete. Love without expression stays locked inside. And so I am giving you now, clearly and specifically, the things I am asking you to do in this season. These are not burdens. These are keys. Keys to the very breakthroughs I just declared over you. Are you ready? The first thing I am asking of you is this. Come back to prayer. Real prayer. Not the performance of prayer. Not the words you say because you're supposed to. Real communication. the kind where you sit down with me and you say exactly what is on your heart, including the hard things, including the doubt, including the anger, including the grief. I can handle your honesty. I have always been able to handle it. What I hunger for is not polished religion. I hunger for you. The real you. The unfiltered, unedited, unimpressive you who doesn't have it together and knows it. Start tomorrow morning. Before the phone, before the news, before the noise of the world floods in and fills every room of your mind. Give me the first moments. Sit with me, breathe, say, God, I'm here. I don't know what to say, but I'm here. That is enough. That is more than enough. I will meet you in that 5 minutes, in a way that changes the texture of your entire day. Begin the discipline of returning to me in the morning, and watch what happens to the loneliness. Watch what happens to the fear. You cannot sit in my presence and remain unchanged. The second thing I am asking of you, forgive. Yes, my child, I know. I know who came to your mind just now. The name that surfaced. The face, the memory. The one who's leaving, or whose words, or whose actions carved something out of you that you've been trying to grow back. I am not asking you to pretend what they did was acceptable. I am not asking you to call it fine. I am not asking you to re-enter a harmful situation or even to restore a relationship that was broken. I am asking you to release the debt because unforgiveness is a prison, and the cruelest part is that you are the one inside it. They have moved on. Or even if they haven't, they are not the ones spending their emotional energy reliving and re-feeling and re-bleeding the wound. You are. And beloved, you cannot walk fully into the future I have for you while you are chained to the past by unforgiveness. The blessing can't flow freely through a clenched fist. So today, not when you feel ready, because feelings follow decisions, not the other way around. Today, make the decision. I release them. I release the debt. I release it into your hands, God, and I trust you with the justice. Say it out loud if you can. Write it down. Speak it as a declaration, even if you can't yet feel it. The feeling will follow. I promise you, the freedom will follow. And when the bitterness tries to return, because it will try, you say it again. I have released this. I choose forgiveness. I will not be bound. The third thing I am asking of you, let go of fear. Oh, my child, I see how fear has been operating in your life. Fear of abandonment, whispering that every good thing will eventually leave. Fear of vulnerability, warning you that opening up will only end in more pain. Fear of the future, telling you that things will never change, that this is just how your life is. Fear has been a loud and constant voice, and it has cost you. It has cost you relationships you didn't pursue because you were afraid of rejection, opportunities you didn't take because you were afraid of failure, the full expression of who you are because you were afraid of being too much. But hear me. Fear is not my voice. Fear is the enemy's strategy to keep you small enough that you never walk into the fullness of what I prepared for you. Fear is a liar wearing the costume of wisdom, using the language of caution to manufacture paralysis. My voice says, I have not given you a spirit of fear. My voice says, perfect love. My love casts out fear. My voice says, do not be afraid, for I am with you. Every time fear speaks, and it will speak, you have a counter-declaration. Say, God has not given me a spirit of fear. I am loved perfectly. I am held securely. I will not be moved. Say it until your nervous system believes it. Say it until fear stops getting the first word. Practice courage in small things. Message someone. Take the step. Apply for the thing. Say yes to the invitation. Show up authentically in the small moments, and I will build your courage muscle for the bigger ones. Fear shrinks when you move forward. It loses its grip every time you act despite it. So move forward, my precious one. I am right here beside you. The fourth thing I am asking of you, release the guilt. You have been carrying shame about things that I have already forgiven. Let me say that again. You have been carrying a weight that was already removed, like a prisoner still sitting in a cell. After the door has been opened and the pardon has been signed and delivered. The guilt is real, but it is no longer valid, because I dealt with it completely. The mistakes you made, I have forgiven them. The ways you fell short, I have covered them. The things you're ashamed of, I have redeemed them. And when I forgive my child, I do not file it away to reference later. I do not hold it in reserve to use against you when you disappoint me again. When I forgive, it is finished, complete, as far as the east is from the west. But the enemy has been using that guilt to keep you from walking forward, using your shame to convince you that you are disqualified from the destiny I have for you. You are not disqualified. I am the God who uses broken things. I am the God who writes redemption into the stories that seemed most beyond it. I am the God of the second chance and the third chance, and the 70 times 7 chance. So put down the weight today, not because you earned the right to put it down, but because I am asking you to, because your energy is needed for the road ahead, not for dragging the chains of the road behind. Receive my forgiveness. Really receive it. You are free. Walk like it. The fifth thing I am asking of you. Trust my timing. This is one of the hardest things I ask of any human heart. Because the human experience of time is linear and limited, and when something is taking longer than expected, the natural conclusion is that it isn't coming. But my child, I exist outside of time. I see the whole picture, every chapter, every character, every thread, from beginning to end simultaneously. And from where I stand, I assure you, the timing is not careless. It is precise. The breakthrough that hasn't come yet isn't late. It is in process. It is being assembled with the care of a master craftsman who refuses to rush the work because the work must be right. Some things that are on their way to you required the growth that happened in the waiting to be able to receive them. If they had come earlier, you couldn't have held them. The character built in the delay is what makes the blessing sustainable. I know waiting is painful. I know hope deferred makes the heart sick. I put those words in my book because I understand the human experience of waiting on me. But hope that endures has been disappointed, has had to choose again and again to keep trusting in spite of the evidence, and has found me faithful in the end. That is the kind of faith I am building in you. So when the doubt creeps in and whispers it's never going to happen, say to it, my God's timing is perfect, and what he has promised will come to pass. Hold your ground in the waiting room. The door is going to open. The sixth thing I am asking of you, silence the voices that are lying to you. You know which ones I mean. The voice that says you are too damaged to be loved. The voice that says the best has passed you by. The voice that catalogues every flaw and failure and uses them to argue that you are not worthy of the promises I've spoken over your life. Those voices are not mine. They have never been mine. My voice builds. It does not tear down. My voice affirms. It does not condemn. My voice speaks life into the dry places and calls forth potential from the hidden places, and sees what you were made to be rather than rehearsing what you have failed to be. When the lying voices speak, and they will speak, you do not argue with them. You do not try to debate them into silence. You drown them out with my word. Speak my word over yourself out loud. What you feed grows. Feed faith. Feed truth. Feed the voice that calls you chosen and loved and seen. Starve the lies. Create a daily practice, even 10 minutes, of speaking truth over yourself. Say, I am loved, I am chosen, I am not alone, I have a purpose, my story is not over, my best days are ahead, God is with me right now. Say it until your body relaxes, until your shoulders come down from around your ears, until the tightness in your chest loosens slightly. This is not affirmation psychology. This is spiritual warfare. You are taking back the territory the lies have occupied, and you are claiming it for truth. And one more, my child. A seventh, because I want to give you more than you expected. I am asking you to choose community. I know the impulse is to protect yourself. I know every wound from a person makes the walls feel necessary. But isolation is not safety, beloved. Isolation is the enemy's ideal environment for you. Because in isolation, there is no one to counter the lies, no one to speak life, no one to hold your hand in the dark. I designed you for connection, not performance. Connection. And yes, that requires vulnerability. Yes, it carries risk. Yes, you might be hurt again. But the alternative, the sealed, protected, isolated existence, is not the life I designed for you, and in your heart you know it. Take one step toward connection this week. 1. Join the group. Reach out to the person. Accept the invitation you've been declining. Show up. Be present. Offer the real version of yourself and trust me with the outcome. I am sending people who are ready for the real you, but they can only reach you if you open the door. Open the door, my precious one. Let me bring all 7 together. Return to real prayer. Choose forgiveness. Release fear. Put down the guilt. Trust my timing. Silence the lies. And step toward community. These are not 7 tasks to check off a list. They are 7 tributaries flowing into the river of transformation that I am moving through your life. You don't have to do all 7 perfectly today. Just begin. Begin with 1, and then another, and watch me meet you in the beginning. Before we reach the end of this message, if these words have been touching something real in you today, share this video with one person who needs to hear it. One person who is sitting in loneliness right now, who needs to know they are seen. You may not know how much it will mean to them, but I know, and I'll be watching when you do it. My child, my beloved, precious, extraordinary child, we have come a long way together in this message, and I need you to know this was not an accident. This was not a coincidence. You were not randomly scrolling and stumbled upon a video that happened to describe your exact pain with your exact words. I placed this here for you. I arranged this moment. Everything you heard today, every word that landed in the deep places, every moment where the tears came unexpectedly, Every second where something in you said, "Yes, that's it. That's exactly what I've been carrying. That was me reaching for you. I have been trying to get through to you. And today, in this format, through this screen, through these words, I got through." Don't let this be a moment that passes. Let this be a turning point. I want you to remember 3 things as you carry this message forward. First, you are not alone. You have never been alone. The God who created the universe has his eyes on you, not casually, not distantly, but intimately, constantly, with the specific attention of a father who knows his child's name and face and heartbeat. Second, the season is turning. What you have been enduring was never your permanent address. It was preparation, the loneliness, the pain, the feeling of being unseen. These were the conditions in which I was doing my deepest work in you, and that work is now bearing fruit. A new season is here. Step into it. Third, you are chosen for something specific. There is a purpose on your life that nobody else can fulfill. Not because you are without flaw, but because I chose you specifically with full knowledge of every flaw, and I am not a God who makes mistakes in his choosing. Your life matters. Your presence matters. Your voice matters. What you carry, the wisdom earned through suffering, the compassion born of loneliness, the depth that comes from having been broken and rebuilt, matters. The world needs what I put in you, and I am going to make sure it gets there. So I want to close with a blessing over your life. A real, spoken, intended blessing from me to you through these words in this moment. Are you ready to receive it? Beloved, I bless you with the end of isolation. May every wall that has kept genuine love out crumble. May the right people find you. May you find the courage to be found. May your table be filled with souls who know and cherish the real you. I bless you with provision beyond what you can ask or imagine. May lack lose its grip on your life. May unexpected supply reach you from unexpected directions. May the work of your hands be fruitful and the dreams of your heart be funded. I bless you with physical and emotional healing. May your body be restored. May the weight of grief and stress and prolonged pain be lifted from your cells. May you wake up one morning soon and realize that the heaviness is gone, truly gone, and that what has replaced it is lightness, is peace, is the wholeness I always intended for you. I bless you with clarity of purpose. May the fog lift and the path become clear. May you know, with a deep, settled, knowing that doesn't need constant reassurance, why you are here and what you are building. May every step feel aligned with the destiny that has had your name on it since before you were born. I bless you with my presence, felt and known, not just believed in, felt. May the sense of my nearness be with you in the quiet mornings and the loud afternoons and the long nights. May you never again wonder if I am with you, because the evidence of my presence will be so constant and so clear that doubt will find no purchase in you. And I bless you with joy, not happiness that depends on circumstances. Deep, undergirding, inexplicable joy. The kind that coexists with hard things and still insists that goodness is real, that love is real, that this life is worth living fully, that the story being written has a beautiful ending. That joy is your inheritance, my child. Claim it. As you go from this video, as you close this tab and walk back into your life, carry these words with you. I am seen. I am chosen. I am not alone. My breakthrough is coming. My God is for me. Write it on your hand if you need to. Set it as your phone background. Say it every morning before your feet hit the floor. Let it be the last thing you hear before you sleep, and the first thing you speak when you wake. And when the hard moments come, and they will come, because you are still in this life, and this life still has hard moments, remember this message. Remember that you sat here, and my voice reached you, and something in you shifted. Hold on to the shift. Now, my precious one, before you go, if this message touched you today, if you felt my presence even for a moment, if something moved in you, or was lifted from you, or came alive in you, type Amen in the comments right now. Not for me, for yourself, as a declaration, as a stake in the ground, as a way of saying, I received this. I believe. I'm stepping into the new season. Type Amen. And if you know someone, one person, it only takes one, who is sitting in the same loneliness you've been carrying, who needs to hear these words, who needs to know they are seen and not forgotten, send them this video. Right now. Don't wait. Don't wonder if it's the right time. It's the right time. Be the voice of God in someone else's dark moment, because you know what it means to need these words. Be the one who delivered them. I love you, my child, with a love that is not conditional, not seasonal, not dependent on your performance or your perfection or your polished presentation. I love you completely, fully, finally, forever, and I will see you in the next message. Until then, go live like the chosen one that you are.